808s and Joysticks with Tom Stone and Tyrell Hayward-Brown.
We all in, yeah?
Yep, all good.
Alright, cool. Welcome to 808s and Joysticks, the show that bridges the gap between games, music, season with pop culture. I'm Tyrell, and joining me today, as always, is Tom.
Yeah, we've struggled, actually, to find news that isn't related. See, I'm already, just sick of Stadia, so I can't even speak about it. If you listen to the episode the other week, you will know that we discussed it in a lot of detail. I'm still for that. But yeah, it's really hard to find stuff that isn't related. But we have found stuff that isn't related, and it's good news for skate fans, skaters, video gamers, because there's a lot of rumours online that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is going to be coming back, making a comeback.
Yo, it's just I can't believe it. Like I did hear about Pro Skater 1 and 2 remasters being made. I did think that Activision was working on something like that. But for it to actually be much more concrete evidence now, I'm such a massive Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Like it is a game that I would say shifted me. It kind of like shifted me towards certain music that I never was like, say for example, exposed to. Well, not to say that like my parents didn't grow me up on a variety of different musics, but this was like stuff that I would have never stumbled upon by accident. So like, really hardcore metal music or alt rock or like bedroom rock, or all that kind of stuff in it. Like things that you don't really tend to hear. Even certain elements of old school hip hop. More weird or obscure, like alt rap, you would call it, lo-fi type stuff. These were all included in Tony Hawk's games, and it wasn't just a soundtrack, it was a game that managed to capture all of the fun of skating, but without making it into that boring, mundane process of trial and error and doing a move over and over again, which is where I can see a skate game, falling down like that. That's why I didn't like Skate as much, because I felt like there was a level of realism in Skate that I didn't appreciate until I was much older. But when I was younger, I loved the Tony Hawk's game because they were much more easier to pick up, and I felt like, oh, this is just all the fun aspects of skating. Whereas in Skate, I felt the frustration of skating, and then once I was also skating at the time, I understood some of the movements that were done on Skate more. And then when I play Tony Hawk's again, I think, wow, that is so crap. Like the move is, it's so easy to do in a game, but it's so much more difficult in real life. It was a massive series for, I think, a lot of gamers. Like you talk to people.
Oh yeah.
Across the world, and people who never really played games, but they guarantee you they played the Tony Hawk games just because Tony Hawk's was the biggest thing ever at that time.
And like you say, it's more of the arcade-based style that really sort of pulled people into it, rather than skate simulation style. But there is one thing about this which I'm basically going to ruin all the hope and dreams that everyone's got about this. But the big fault is that Activision is the company behind this, and as we know, Activision have previously said they're not going to put microtransactions in games, and then done it. Now, if these remasters do come true, it's a remaster, so you'd hope not. But then you think about the potential of microtransactions and skins in a game like this, and there's going to be someone somewhere in Activision that's going to be thinking that, and I just feel like it might make its way into it.
Well, sorry to just cut you off there, but like, remember Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 and how we thought that was going to be a really great entry into the series, and that was going to be a return to form, and Activision did what it usually did, and it was riddled with development issues. The game came out broken. There was a huge day one patch for the game. The game essentially shipped half on the disc, and you had to download that mandatory version 1 update in order for the game to even work in the first place. So, you know, that's just going to show like what kind of corners they cut with such a legacy game series. Like, you can't even call this just a game series. This is a legacy. This is up there with, you know, some of the most legendary game series of all time. You put Tony Hawk's amongst them, you know, Crash Bandicoot. You know, I would say all amongst those things, like, you can always cite Tony Hawk's as being one of the genre-defining, you know, games of its time. It spawned so many different clones and, like, you know, veer-offs, like snowboarding games, all sorts of things. You know, everything came from Tony Hawk's first.
Yeah.
And it was just quite sad to see that, you know, Activision decided to do what Activision does. You know, they shut Neversoft down and put a new developer on it. It was crap. You know, Tony Hawk's has been downhill since, I want to say, Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for me is when I stopped playing the series. I think I played number 8, which was called like Project 8. That was just meh.
Yeah,
that was about it though.
I think you're probably on the same level as most people who enjoyed the series, with sort of stepping away from it at that point. But there is a positive as well in this, and that's that Activision, you could say, are the masters of remastering at the moment. Like, you look at the games they've remastered: Call of Duty, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot Racing. They've all been, apart from,
it's really, really weird that they own all of those IPs, like legacy game, old legacy game IPs. Activision own them. Like, all of the ones that were like the leaders of their, like, you know, their genre. Like, Call of Duty was a leading shooter, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro leading platformers, Tony Hawk's leading in, you know, that kind of extreme sport, you know, kind of sport genre that was booming in the PlayStation 2 days and Xbox days. It just goes to show that, like, I don't really know why they just keep gobbling up what we used to like and then, like, just spewing it back out in varying qualities, because I heard the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a fantastic remaster. So, like,
it's technically not a remaster.
It's not a remaster. Well, it is. It's a. But would you want to call it a retelling?
Yeah, a reimagining. You could say, yeah, like a remake, basically.
It does look pretty damn good. Like, I'll give you one thing about that. Call of Duty's campaign is always sick and immersive. There's nothing to tell you that you will not have fun with that campaign. I love doing the campaigns in Call of Duty. It's probably the only reason why I brought the game still. I wasn't bothered about online anymore. I wasn't a high school teenager. I didn't care about prestiges anymore. Like, I just didn't care. So, like, I just started playing the games for the campaign and having fun online and playing zombies with my friends in it. Like, I wasn't taking it too serious anymore once I got to college and that. So, and you know that as well, because you was in kind of the same transitional. Like, you stopped playing Call of Duty as well. So,
I stopped playing it a long time ago. I've never been like a big fan of it. I don't mind shooting games, but I'm not like a massive fan of it. So this one, to be fair, I've been told it's really good. Have been tempted, but for me, I just can't. Just to play a campaign mode, I know I'm not going to touch the online, so it's not worth the money for me. But
this is the first one where I've had multiple people come up to me and say, "Yo, I'm actually playing this online again." It feels like when we was back in school. Like, that's how it feels again. I was just like, and then it makes me want to play it because I'm thinking, wait, it's like how we was playing back in school. Like, I think about all those times when, like, you know, the last time we all hopped in a lobby together and, like, we didn't even know it was going to be the last time we hopped in a lobby because certain people just didn't play PlayStation anymore, you know, after a certain point. And it made me feel a little bit nostalgic about it. And it's weird that a Call of Duty Modern Warfare remaster makes me feel nostalgic when it was literally brought out not that many years ago.
Yeah.
So like yeah, they've really managed to find a way how to capitalize on our, you know, already nostalgia that we've got by making us all feel old, like when we're not. So
Still for me, not you know, you won't see me spending my money there. Not anytime soon anyway. Who knows what the future holds for Activision? Who knows? And we're talking about Activision's future. Stadia's future is looking shaky, you could say.
I see, Joe. Yeah, I will go on record and say, like, I know I had some really harsh opinions of Stadia, and I've spoken to a few other people now, and like I've spoken.
Have you changed your opinion since last week?
I haven't changed my opinion on Stadia because I was right. Like, no one should have invested in this. No one should have invested in this from the get-go. It was obviously not going to be ready for how the consumer wanted. That's what I'm saying. It's how the consumer thought it was going to work. People are already asking questions that I feel like they should have addressed, and they didn't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just address these questions in a Reddit AMA. Your end user, more likely, is not using Reddit. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really understand who you're trying to reach, because if you're trying to say that you're trying to reach the common man that's going to use Google Chrome, I'm pretty sure if they're using Reddit right now, they probably have a PC. So, like, I just want to see where's the level that we're trying to get here. Who's the customer? Because doing a Reddit AMA isn't answering your customers' questions, in my opinion. So I'm seeing a lot of confused consumers thinking that certain features are in there, but they are missing. But if you read the Reddit AMA or listen to our last show, you would know what features are missing out of Stadia. So, like,
at launch as well. You know,
at launch as well. Like, so I see what you was trying to say. You was trying to say, like, well, you know, they're basically trying to say that we're not trying to overload the system from the get-go, and this is how it is. And I see why, because they already had server issues, and they had, like, you know, gaming issues where, you know, certain users were unable to connect to Stadia, and let's just say it's not been an all-round great start for the system. And this is what I'm saying. It needed to have a strong foundation.
Yeah, and I'm still sticking to my guns. I still think it does have a strong foundation. I think that the majority of the gaming industry is on the back of it, because it's a new thing, and as we all know in media, as soon as something new comes along, people don't like it because it's not the norm, and it takes a few years for that to become the norm or accepted, you could say. And it's interesting. Yeah, the launch hasn't been great. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Stadia. I wouldn't tell anyone to invest in it right now. I don't think it's worth it right now. You know, it's still got a long way to go.
See, that's where I feel like I'm getting misconstrued. Like, I'm saying all four, if you want to purchase this, I would just say, I know it's even like being generous. I'm saying probably give the system a year, and you'll probably be in a better position to go and get it then. And it will be free by then. You can get your own Chromecast. You don't have to get their Chromecast. Like, that's the
big thing for me. I think when this becomes free and it's been running for a year, or, you know, near enough 6 months to a year, when it becomes free, that's when this is going to change and open up a lot of different avenues still. And, you know, everyone's going into this. We spoke about it, I don't know how many times on the show, how many people are going into gaming streaming.
Yeah.
But it's, it is interesting. Go on.
Well, really with this idea as well, that, like, what I found was quite, like, well, not strange, but the amount of users that just really expected it to be, like, 10 out of 10, like, you know, straight up. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's the only thing where I think, like, I really felt like more information should have been said to, like, you know, your experience isn't going to be 10 out of 10. And I think that's the problem, though. Like, but the consumer expects too much anyway. Like,
so I don't personally. No, I know Google bigged it up, but did they state you would get a 10 out of 10 experience at launch ever? They may have, you know, market it to be better than it is right now. But I don't think they ever said this is the be-all and end-all of everything.
No, it's not. But, when you got people going on stage and, saying that it's got 10.7 teraflops of GPU, it's just using buzzwords and people are just thinking, whoa,
oh yeah,
that's crazy. I can't wait to, experience this 4K 60. I don't know who the hell said that 4K 60 frames a second is going to be like your max option regardless, because as we can see, this is the new thing that's happened. Most games are not even made in 4K 60, so I don't really know where they're like, and we know this. Do you know what I'm saying? Most games aren't made in 4K 60. So
to be fair, a lot of the newer titles now support it. Obviously, this launch lineup doesn't have mostly like it has a mixture of old and newer titles.
Well, I would say what we're calling the last gen now, the current gen. Yeah, a lot of those games have only just recently started, like the end of the cycle games, which is usually always the better looking games. I've started to run in the 4K 60 frames and only on the PlayStation Pro or the Xbox One X. So
yeah, a lot of the time it can be upscaling as well for 4K.
Yeah, exactly. Well, checkerboarded, which is not real 4K, it's 2K really, just duplicated. So it's not even
to be fair, that is what Stadia does actually do for some games. It does run 2K. The trouble is you will obviously lose some of that quality through connection.
Yeah.
And that's where it doesn't, it's still not that straight up console experience. But I will say from, the reviews have been mixed, but I will say from the reviews I've seen when it's working and when I've actually seen it working, it's relatively impressive for what it is. And I think with more work and, as, internet gets better and they've recently spoke about 5G, I think they're probably looking a bit far in the future there. But, it can only get better.
Yeah, when 5G comes, like, that is when, when I was talking to my uncle, he was like, 5G will be very important in doing cloud gaming and AR as well. So he was like, when that comes, that will be a massive boost. So we'll see. 5G might be the game changer for Google. So that could be a massive effect for them. That could be a massive effect for cloud gaming overall because of, how much data 5G has managed to process in comparison to 4G currently. So
yeah, and
we'll have to see. We'll just have to see all of it. Like it really is all up in the air. Like I think that last time we said was like we're gonna leave this until maybe next year to revisit Stadia properly, and hopefully we both have played it at that point as well.
Yeah, and to be fair, there's a lot of big games that are looking to support this for future releases as well. So I think we'll see more benefit of it there. Stadia have come out and said that games not streaming out 4K is also down to developers. How much of that is believable, I'm not sure, but I do believe it. I do think that, this is something new. Obviously, developers haven't had their hands on it for too long either. The games aren't built with this in mind. So you do have to bear that into account. It's the same as when we see games coming to a console, like when that generation is first launched of a console, the games are not at their full potential because people are still learning how to use this technology. And as it progresses, it improves. And I don't see why we can't see that with Stadia. And I mean, it's not in a bad position really, considering what it is. And then long term as well, I think this is the really important point. And speak of if you don't agree with me, but I think long term, this is very important for people trying to get into that PC gaming market. Because recently, I've been looking for Christmas. My little cousin wanted a gaming PC for herself. Now, we've been looking at gaming PCs for her, and it's extremely expensive to get into that market as someone that's young and doesn't have money behind them. And I think that's important to note, that something like this coming along, whether it be free and you pay for a subscription on top, or just buy the games through it and can play, maybe you have to buy a controller. The fact that you can get that PC gaming quality on a laptop, and in the future have the features where you can play with people, like friends, I think that's really, really important. Because, to get a decent PC, you're looking £500 really, minimum, for something to play, like, recent games at decent settings. Now, if you're looking to play games at 4K, the budget for that is extortionate. It's not even, for anyone under the age of, probably anyone without a full-time job that's been in the job for 2 years and hasn't saved money, it's not viable. It's not viable at all to go out and spend £1,500 on a computer. And let's face it,
No, it's not.
How often are you going to use that computer as well when you're in a job? You haven't got that much time. So it's a really weird position, because the people that use this stuff are the people with a lot of the free time. Like when we were at school, college, university, you have that free time that you can spend doing stuff like that. Maybe not so much at university, but, then when you're working and you've got, hobbies, like we do this as well, the time to do that is very minimal. And you have to have a really good setup, like a PC at home, to be able to play that stuff. So where's that balance for sort of, price point and getting into it and having, a life as well? And I think this technology, not necessarily Stadia itself, but this technology is going to be that bit in the middle that breaks that sort of, I don't want to say gap in the market, because it's not a gap in the market, but it's a potential area in the market.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I will agree with the whole middle ground. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not against Stadia as an idea. I think it's a brilliant idea, but I also think it's an idea that is prone to failure. And I'm just talking about let's take a look at Google as a company. They're not the greatest company. That's all I'm saying. Like, everyone just needs to just take a look. Google is notorious for cancelling ideas. So I'm just being so skeptical about it. I'm just like, everyone's putting their investments in. Remember, you are never going to own the game. Just want people to make smart decisions, like, about things. Like, this could be something that is not even a thing next year. I'm not saying it won't be, but I'm just saying, we don't know what the legs is on this. We don't know what the longevity is. People say things are going to last forever. People thought the Ouya was the next thing. Where's that now?
I'm sorry, who thought the Ouya was the next thing?
Look, talk about all of the people that on Kickstarter that backed it. Exactly. Mm-hmm. There was quite a few backers. Okay. So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, people thought, obviously, people believe in things. Steam machines. Look at how many times in college we was drilled into us about Steam machines and how that's the next thing up. And me and you was just like, why would I want to buy a machine that only plays Steam? How arbitrary that is. And look at where we are now, where everyone has their own launching platform. Where would you be if you had a Steam machine right now? The people who have got Steam machines right now must be kicking themselves. It's a glorified PC.
I mean, I don't think there's any people that have got Steam machines right now.
I don't know anyone that's got Steam machines, but there was a bunch of people. There's a bunch of people, that were also doing Kickstarters for these, Steam machines and making them into their own versions. And, this is when Valve was there selling the OS and the interface for people could use it on their own Steam machines. And it was getting out of hand.
Should also point out that the price point for them was also like, if you wanted a decent Steam machine, you're looking £700-800. Like,
yeah, crazy money, and it's just you couldn't even do anything on it.
It is a not even a glorified PC, like a PC with limitations.
Yeah, like, you couldn't even browse the internet. You couldn't do I think you could do some multimedia, capabilities on there. Like you could play music and maybe video, but for what it essentially is like a graphics card and like a motherboard, it should be a PC. You should be able to, go on the internet, do some word processing. Like you could have got a decent PC. Instead, people were pushing the Steam machine like it was the next thing up. So I'm just saying that, like, with how things are today, I would always give it a little bit of time for people to build on whatever they've just released, because these days everyone's likes to release half-baked stuff. So I just, it's not even half-baked, it's just sometimes just lazily put together. Or like, I wouldn't say Stadia is lazy, I would say that Stadia is hasty. Like, it was a really good idea, it had really good concept behind it, and it's obviously got Google and massive power behind it, and their cloud system is one of the best in the world. So they thought, why wouldn't they make a gaming system that was free of a console? And they probably thought, hey, yeah, we can get all the developers to sign up, because they will probably think, oh, we don't have a console to actually design games for. We could just make the game and it could just run. So, like, they probably thought that in their head. Developers are thinking in their head, we don't want to deal with Google. So we're being really, kind of like hands off, like, whoa, we don't want to deal with like a system like this. We're not quite sure if we should invest our time into learning a new system to port our game to it. All these things are going on in these developers' heads, who have been, have lost out many times to, different consoles all over the generations. Specifically Nintendo a lot of the time. So, like, it is one of those things, really, where you just have to wait it out. I felt like I am being really harsh on the idea, only because I do want the idea to succeed, because I do like believe in making sure that everyone is able to play games, over a range of devices. I feel like that's a really beautiful concept, to enable people to play wherever they can, whatever device they are, however, whatever kind of money you have or whatever, like you are able to gain some sort of device that is playable. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I do think that's a really good concept.
So let me put this question to you, because I think this will probably back up the point you're trying to make more, or maybe give people listening more of an understanding as to where you're coming from. And when you say Stadia was hasty, we know about the variety of game subscription services right now, and we know that several companies are looking into cloud streaming and have stuff in the works already.
Yeah.
So what is the outcome of that? Is it that Stadia was launched hastily to beat everyone to the market and be the first there? Or is it just that Google felt it was in a position where they could launch it?
I feel like there's also a lot of corporate, excuse my language, dick slinging going on as well. Like, people just trying to prove that they're a bigger company. Obviously, Apple, Google, Amazon, Disney, Warner, Time Warner or whatever, Verizon, all those big media conglomerates, Tencent. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're all fighting to be the biggest company. Like, and I felt like Google was like, they were trying to make a major statement by announcing a games system that had nothing to do with the major big three. And, not having anything to do with the major big three also kind of has a knock-on effect to the other media conglomerates that are thinking, wait a minute, well, we're developing games and stuff for like all these people. Like, what do you mean Google now is trying to acquire, IPs and games and stuff like to be on their system that doesn't sell a hardware? That means so who's making profit? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're all trying to figure out in their head what Google's trying to do. And I think that Google was just trying to get ahead of the curve, and they was like, well, we have a cloud system already. Amazon, I don't know what you're doing, but you're taking too long. We're going to announce our cloud gaming system. Sony's system isn't that great, but they've just teamed up with Microsoft, so obviously they've got some type of system on the way. And I just don't really know how to really feel at the moment about it all. Like, I feel like everyone's in competition with each other. So many streaming services. It's just tiring. Like, another service. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like every day will come, well, not every day, well, every couple of weeks we come on here and we discuss another new service or something new is coming, or there's somebody else offering some type of like, you know, bundle package to like get all the games. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like really know what's going on at the moment. It's like, is it even about profit anymore, or is it about who can gain the most notoriety?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because if you stick around later on in the show, we will actually discuss a new service that's coming to the TV streaming sector.
Oh my god! I know. I read into the notes and I was just like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Like, these are just the ones that are in America as well. Like, they ain't even come to England. Like, you don't even know about ours. What, BritBox?
Well,
God.
I mean, it is staggering. So we're talking about the subscription services. Let me give a rundown quickly of what subscription services we currently have on the market. You have Apple Arcade, available on iOS, macOS, and tvOS.
Give us a price breakdown as well, Tom.
Okay, so that's $4.99 per month. Not bad.
Okay.
It is also, you're not looking at AAA games here. You're looking at more mobile indie games. A bit of, you know, decent games through in there for like AAA to a degree. So it's a decent price for your money. PlayStation Now, obviously a big one. People know about that. Available on PS4 and PC. That is $9.99 per month. Not too bad. Really good sort of library of games for PS4, and you obviously can download them, stream them. PS3 and PS2 games as well, which is pretty decent. You know, over 800 games there.
Also, I didn't know that PlayStation Now is currently the largest, like, in terms of revenue for like a service like that, like a streaming service.
I do think that will be surpassed possibly by Game Pass at some point, though.
Yeah, Game Pass Game Pass is very good. Yeah, I will give it to them, but it's just that obviously Sony just boasts the better first party titles. That's the only thing that I would say would give it the edge. Xbox, it's variety of games, I feel like.
Yeah, and the thing is, the Game Pass doesn't include. It has other games on it that aren't, you know, just first party. So that's the difference there. And you know, as we're saying, Xbox Game Pass available on Xbox One and PC if you get the Ultimate. It's
so sick. It's really good.
$9.99 a month for console or PC. But if you want to play on Xbox and PC with Xbox Live Gold, it's $14.99 a month. Which, to be fair, not a bad price point for all that stuff included. Yeah, over 100 games on it at the moment. Not as many as PlayStation, but increasing very rapidly, that library is, because they're announcing new stuff all the time. So
and has most of like the current third party titles on there as well. So
yeah, I mean, if you want to play, you know, stuff on PC downloadable, that's probably a go-to at the moment. Google Stadia Pro, obviously the slightly different one here, because that is a primarily cloud streaming service. It doesn't offer downloads like all the others. That is $9.99 a month, and it's available on Stadia compatible devices. Obviously at the moment it's only available on the Chromecast that come with the Founders Edition or the Premium Edition that you can buy, but they will be rolling it out to other Chromecast Ultras, Google Pixel phones. Well, I think it is on Google Pixel phones, and obviously the Chrome browser, iOS and Android at other points. So that's what we're speaking about. This is one for the future. Not a lot there now. People have described it as just okay, which to be fair isn't too bad, but with a bit more features added to this, that's when it will start competing with these other services. And if it offers a much better service streaming wise, it means people don't have to own the stuff to the hardware to download the games, which is really where everyone wanted to go with this games as a service sort of model, but no one's managed to do it just yet. Then we've got EA EA Access.
I'm really confused though, because EA Access and Origin Access, what's going on?
So EA Access is for console.
Oh, just make it into the same thing.
Origin Access
just make it into the same thing, man.
For PC.
That is so stupid. Oh, they've got so many tiers as well. Classic EA, man.
Yeah, so you have EA Access, which is $4.99 per month, and you get access to EA's catalogue of games. But you can also get, I think, EA Access Premier, and you get discount on games and early access to games.
Yeah, don't you get like I know you get like early access to like FIFA and Battlefield, don't you? Like if you had that.
Yeah, so you get early access to like new first party games from EA.
And Anthem.
And
Anthem.
Origin Access offers the same thing but on PC. Basic is $4.99 per month, and then Premier is $14.99 per month. And honestly, for that price point, you do not get anywhere near as much as the Xbox Game Pass price point for $14.99. You know, you only get it on one service, I believe. Could be wrong, but you get early access to stuff. But really, if you're looking to pay that price point for a service, you're looking at Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, and like Origin don't come with anything cool. Like Xbox Game Pass still comes with 6 months of Spotify for free. Like that's hard. Like, why are they giving Spotify away for free for 6 months?
Yeah,
that's just great. Like,
and we're not.
Oh gosh, I didn't know we have this many. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, we're not done yet. We've got one more for the time being. There may be more added in the future, but we've got one more. We have Uplay Plus, which is Ubisoft's service, only on PC at the moment. Was free until September 30th. Can't say I actually tried that. It offers over 100 Ubisoft titles, but it is $14.99 per month. So if you're looking for the worst value for money service you can buy, Uplay Plus is the option you should pick there. Really not sure why that's $14.99 per month. That's extortionate for what it offers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 services at the moment. If you want to play all the exclusive games, you're probably looking at paying $80 a month. Pretty expensive. Add into that all the streaming services you now need, and you're going to need to get a part-time job pretty quickly if you're quite young. Well, maybe not have a part-time job, full-time job.
I'm just tired of the services, man. Just get me out of here. Like, I'm just tired of it, man. I don't want to do it anymore. I have to keep getting different services. I'm just losing my mind.
I know exactly how you feel. I was a big fan of this, and okay, maybe not a big fan of it. I was a fan of it, but I don't think it's being done correctly. I feel like these should be something that's being put into another service, maybe that you pay for, or it's never going to happen. Come on, it's never going to happen. But all we're waiting for now is Nintendo's streaming service. Well, Nintendo's on-demand service, and we have, all the big players then really making it a go at it. And we're sort of speaking about that, and there's an interesting discussion, an article that IGN posted this week. And you said you know a lot about this, and I think we both do. But it's basically regarding Sony and Nintendo's falling out in the early 90s, which was basically over the original PlayStation. If you didn't know, Sony and Nintendo were originally meant to be making the PlayStation together, and I
think it was I don't know if Sony was making the audio chips and Nintendo was like making the graphics chip, and they were gonna come together and make like a system. And then basically I think it was PlayStation. They heard Nintendo was doing a deal with Sega or something like that, and then like Sony went out and made the PlayStation on their own in secret.
Yeah, and long story short, it was pretty successful. I mean, if you don't know that, then I'm worried, because you should. But yeah, it's a very interesting discussion to have about what could have been if Sony and Nintendo had combined and started making consoles together. Because we may not have ever seen a PlayStation as such as we know it now. Sorry. We also would never have seen a Nintendo 64. And then maybe we wouldn't have seen an Xbox, because maybe it was that good that someone else didn't come into that market. So it is confusing how we're at the position now where we've got so many people making so many different things with all this exclusive stuff. But wouldn't you much rather have it as it is now than just one sole company owning everything? Creativity-wise, it does offer a lot more.
I think Sony going off and veering off, making the PlayStation 1 was probably the best thing ever to happen to the industry. Like, I'm just thinking about what happened. Like, they went off, and all the games that came from the PlayStation 1, like Tekken, like Metal Gear Solid 1, like I'm just thinking about the legacy that they created by going off and doing their own system rather than making a Nintendo Sony hybrid. Like, we could have just been getting Mario again for a long time, like in a much more concentrated way. Let's really all think about that. We would have never got Crash Bandicoot. We would have never got Crash Bandicoot because Crash Bandicoot was made to counteract Super Mario 64 at the time.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine Mario on a PlayStation? Like
a PlayStation, yeah. Well, that's what would have been happening.
The difference though? Like, would they have changed it for that? Because obviously it's not purely.
Well, what was looking at was happening was Sony was making the parts for inside the system, and the next big Nintendo system was going to have a disc drive like to go with it. Mm-hmm. That is what it was going to. It was like an additional thing, but instead, I can't remember the full story. If anybody wants to find the full story, you can go on.
Just Google. Go on. Sony Nintendo first
Google
PlayStation.
Sony Nintendos. I think. Did You Know Gaming has a very, very good video on the Sony Nintendo like system, because Sega had something to do with it as well. That's where the Dreamcast was made, and then also the Sega Saturn had 3D graphics as well after the Sega Mega Drive, because it was all in everyone's fight on who can make the best 3D system at the time. So Nintendo couldn't make one until the 64. That's why they had what's that thing called, like parallax scrolling and stuff like that in Star Fox to kind of make like faux 3D for the Super Nintendo, because they didn't get to that level yet. And obviously Sony had all of this development that they were doing into 3D as well, and stuff that they've learned with Nintendo. So then they went and developed the PlayStation. Also, they took the sound chip. So the sound chip was an amazing sound chip that they had in the PlayStation. Like, nobody had sound like the PlayStation. Like, it sounded like original arcade sounds. I could be wrong by that, but that is how like my uncle and all of his friends said that, like, when the PlayStation came in, like the sound and that was like crazy compared to previous systems. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was I think it was because it was able to play discs, so like the sound will be CD quality for the first time.
Yeah, and the big difference here was just sort of thinking about it. Maybe not difference, but like you said, it was the trying point for the game industry, who was going to get that 3D console first. And there wasn't really. I know Sega were doing okay, but would you ever say that Sega? Well, yeah, I'm going to take that point back. I was going to say, would you ever say Sega really competed with Nintendo? But that's a stupid stupid point to make because they did. There's no questions about it. But would Sega have competed with Nintendo on the same level, or would those forces have combined and just made the one console that no one else could touch because it was always the first thing to market? And PlayStation sort of come into that as a relatively unknown thing at the time and took that market by storm. And really, you know, like you said, it set the standards for that, for the industry, and set the standards for that generation and the generations beyond it. You know, the PlayStation 2 did the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Xbox started fighting back. Nintendo had to revolutionize, and that's why we got the Wii. And I mean, you think about it, we wouldn't have got all this amazing hardware if this didn't happen.
No, we would, because
we would never have got the Wii.
The whole disc-based system all came around because the Sega Saturn released in 1994 in Japan, and then Sony released the PlayStation just a week after the Saturn in Japan. However, the Sega Saturn, which is something that you probably don't even know that much about, I had a Sega Saturn though, was a real commercial failure in the Western world, but in Japan, it was one of their most successful consoles of all time. So everyone was playing the Saturn. Like, they all had Saturns in Japan. And then obviously PlayStation came out. That became one of the, you know, most popular systems. Nintendo 64 was also a very popular system, but in America. So like, it was different because it was classed as the 5th generation. Nintendo was still using cartridges, but they were able to produce 3D graphics via the cartridge though, which was very impressive.
You look at it now, Nintendo,
whereas everyone else is using discs.
Nintendo still use cartridges for certain things.
Yeah, they do. Well, now they do. Well, it's more so than, you know, flashcards, which it's weird how, you know, we've gone from, you know, going to discs, where I thought that discs were just going to get smaller and smaller. Like, I remember when the GameCube disc came out for the first time, I thought, wow, is this what discs going to look like now? Like, coming to find out, that was just a mini ROM. Like,
yeah. Do you know what I still remember? The thing that still, like, I remember so vividly is the PSP discs, and they were, to me, the UMDs. So futuristic and just, you know,
it was really great. Yeah,
wow, I can have a disc in my pocket and it's running on like a really good screen, and I can play a PlayStation. I mean, in all honesty, the UMDs were pretty awful design because the amount of times they broke was horrendous.
Oh yeah, I had Metal Gear Acid, and yeah, the seam around the plastic one day just like split, and it just broke, and that was it. Games broke.
Yeah, and
after that, so
that was meant to be like the next big thing, those mini discs, because even on your disk drive, you could put those. You used to get them free with cereal, and you could put that mini disc into your computer and, you know, play the game that was on the mini disc. And it is crazy how the amount of stuff that comes out and doesn't make it, but also it's all because someone owns like the patent for something, or someone owns the use of that in a certain thing. You know, someone might own the use of a CD drive in this, or they can only use Blu-ray in any console to do with games because they've got a patent for it. You know,
yeah. Well, the whole thing with this is like a total off topic. We always get to these off topic points like towards the end of the gaming section.
They're interesting,
but like the Blu-ray was actually developed in a partnership with Sony and LG. So they had a massive lawsuit as well. So that's why the Xbox was forced to use DVD still.
Yeah.
Even though at the time the DVD on the Xbox 360 was much more better with games. Like you could play games a lot more better. That's why the Xbox 360 kind of shined in, you know, in the early run of its system, due to its stable online, you know, dedicated servers and all of that kind of stuff, and the fact that some of the games ran better on its counterpart. Like, it ran better on the Xbox 360 rather than the PS3. Then there was a shift in turning point where the Blu-rays are being utilized by development teams in a much better way. Then the games became a lot better on the PlayStation 3 rather than the Xbox 360.
Yeah, and
but it was all like I had a point to this. I can't remember what the point was though. It was something to do with LG and Sony. Yeah, it was basically people developing proprietary hardware so like other companies can't use it. That's the reason why Xbox couldn't use Blu-ray in the first place.
Yeah, and that's been a big part of the industry for a long time now, and it's important that stays, because that's what drives the innovation, the creativity, and that's what the gaming industry is all about. And that needs to stay, needs to be there. And you look at it. If the Xbox wasn't so successful, we wouldn't have had the PS4 come back and do the same thing. And the fact that Nintendo in the early days didn't trust using the CD and wanted to still use what they were using before, and Sony proved them wrong. There's so many changes that have happened that needed to happen, and it's constantly changed the way we look at things. And you look at the Wii with the motion controls. No one thought that was going to be a good thing, and then Microsoft thought, I've got to do that. PlayStation thought, I've got to do that.
Well, PlayStation was really they were the person who introduced that type of technology with the iToy. It was never seen before. It was never seen.
Nintendo had the Power Glove back in the day.
The power. Yeah, I do. I know the Power Glove was back in the
Power
day.
Glove, and they had
the gun as well. But that was all lights and stuff. Like, to be honest, Atari had a gun. So like it was all to do with like lights and colours on the screen. It's so old the way how they did that anyway.
PS Move used lights and colours.
No, it didn't use lights and colours. It used a camera. It was actually motion. It was motion controlled. It was
the track the lights on the sticks. The big.
Yeah, only to do lights. Only to do in game though. Like, you didn't have to. It was kind of like, when the Motion Plus came alive, like, you didn't have to calibrate it anymore. There's like, it got to a point where you didn't need to use the lights to calibrate it anymore. Like, you could use it without having to. I don't know. Not like the Motion Plus. There was something weird. There was like another controller you had with it, and that didn't have a light on top of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you had the light one, and then you had another one.
I can't think, because I never used
I had a PlayStation Move. I still have one. Like, it was good for the time. Like, I thought, well, you're really late now, Sony. But yeah, I really felt that, like, yeah, you're right. Nintendo did bring it through with the Power Glove. Very arbitrary. Didn't really work. A lot of people said it never worked. I don't know how true it was. I've never used one. But I remember the iToy being my first motion thing that, my motion camera detection that worked. I remember getting the iToy for Christmas. I remember thinking, this is like the best thing in the world. I've never played a game like this in my life. I thought it's the future of games. Like,
the iToy was amazing. Like, it
blew you when you were a kid. That would blow your mind.
I think it was probably one of my favorite games. I used to you stand in your room and you'd play it. I used to love playing baseball, because they hadn't worked out yet during this period of time with hardware that tracking stuff on a camera, the tracking was very, very, basic to what we know now.
Mad.
Oh yeah,
the hitbox was like the whole screen, like.
Yeah, so if you were doing baseball, you had to make a bat with your arm, swing your arm to hit the ball, or you could be clever, pick a pillow up and just fill the screen, and home run every single time. And I mean, to be fair, probably not playing the game as you should be, because it's easy, but it was amazing to work stuff like that out. And see
even
it
on
working.
the iToy, yeah, like, we did so many cheat things. Like, I played like the window cleaning one. All you had to do was just like get like a large surface area and just wipe the whole screen, basically.
Yeah.
It's like so easy. Like, I was like, you really felt like he was cheating the game, but no, it was just hardware limitation, and he just didn't really catch on to, like, they made the hitbox so massive because they just didn't know how to do specific movements yet, like multiple movements on one at the screen. Like, you could only ever really do movement with one hand at a time. And then the more the games got on, and the more that the software got more advanced, you could do more things with it.
And then obviously, iToy inspired Kinect. Kinect, as we all know, was really good and then really bad, and it's gone now. But
it's gone now.
Oh, come on,
yeah, like it's a person, and it's gone now.
When was the last time you heard someone speak about the Kinect?
Nah,
apart from me know. Just then.
The Kinect
and maybe
used...
us a few shows ago.
Yeah, well, the Kinect is being used in many different ways now. Like, people use it for game development. People use it to take photos and track things, and movement tracking, motion tracking. Like, it's a cheap way of doing, motion tracking. People do all sorts of things with Kinect now that really Xbox probably didn't make the Kinect for, but now people are using it just for that. So it's found its way, and you know what Microsoft's like, they always have uses for their systems. Like, I'm pretty sure Kinect is being used in schools and stuff, like to do like sports and show like certain aspects and stuff, like that you could do within games. It doesn't always have to be outside or in a hall, or you can make things fun. So I can see that aspect of the Kinect still being used to this day. So it really just depends. I feel like we should really move on though to the next. I don't know what we have left in games though. But
we have
always get here.
We have stuff Nintendo related, but as we go Nintendo related, I just want to say Team Virtual Boy. If you're young or completely unaware of what happened and you love VR stuff or are interested in VR stuff, check out the Virtual Boy, because that was way before its time. Like
the Virtual Boy, yeah.
I mean, it was trash, but it
was really trash.
Virtual Boy Power Glove. But I mean,
if you want to talk,
I think that came out before we were born. So,
well, before we were born, Tom, that came out way before we was born. That came out way before we was born. So, that came out when like my uncle was like a kid, like, and stuff like that. Like he was talking about like the Super Nintendo and stuff like that.
I still got my Super Nintendo. So, I mean, I didn't gain it till I was 16. So I don't know if that really counts, but
I have a Sega Mega Drive. Granted, it's not mine though; it's my sister's. So I still have a Mega Drive though, and Sonic, the original. So yeah. Go Team Sonic. Yeah.
So
are we talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield? I don't know. I told you, I warned all you people, why the hell did you buy the game? You idiots. You're all fools.
I bought the game.
I call you an idiot every day. So
I have not bought the game yet, to be fair. I will buy the game.
Like, it sold 6 million, yada yada yada. You lot can't complain because 6 million of you bozos bought the game anyway. So like, I don't really know what to say now, because
you're missing
6 million of you brought it.
Missing the important thing. It smashed the previous record held by, ironically, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which sold 5 million in its opening week. So yeah, I mean, people are saying Pokemon's dying, Pokemon's bad. Is it really? Because it doesn't look like it. It looks like Pokemon's been the most successful it's been in years.
It's true. I wouldn't say that though. I would say that this is just people just falling into the trap of like, we're complaining, but like no one ever really wants to do anything about it. I think a lot of people have been caught in the trap of, this is a game series that's been going on for a long time now, and some people just really can't see the bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, from what I'm seeing of the game, a lot of people are getting finessed right now, and I wouldn't play the game. Go and play an older title in the series. Genuinely, go and play an older title, because I'm not seeing enough changes in the game for me personally to warrant getting it. I know you are. I know you want to get it because you do see changes in it, but you're gonna get the game. You ain't gonna complete it anyway. So
I haven't completed the last one yet.
Exactly.
I never do that.
I don't know. Whoever wants to get Pokemon Sword and Shield, feel free. But I don't want to hear about this game ever again. I don't hear about no complaints because you lot let it sell 6 million units in its first week. So you know what Nintendo's going to do? They're going to release Pokemon Sword and Shield Omega or something stupid now. So, and they're going to probably put all the 453 Pokemon that they didn't put in the game in the first place back in the game because this is what they're going to do. But you know,
yeah, fine by me.
Wild prediction.
Fine by me.
But it's probably going to work. I feel like, you know, people need to also hold Nintendo accountable when they're doing bullshit as well, because Nintendo doesn't get a pass all the time. They're not, you know, the most, you know, everyone outs like the goody two shoes out of the gaming industry, but they've done some really shady shit as well.
Yeah,
over the past.
I mean, this is also coming from someone that is a Metal Gear fan and bought the collector's edition of Metal Gear Survive. So
I didn't actually buy the collector's edition. Why are you lying on my name, though?
Wait,
Tom, shall we expose? No, relax, because I will actually expose you for what you buy.
Did you actually buy that game?
No, I didn't buy that game.
I was gonna say, I was actually a bit confused then.
No, I was saying, do not lie on my name. Do not tell, listeners, viewers, whatever. I did not buy Metal Gear Survive. I'm not a shill. My name is not Tom Stone. I'm not a shill. Okay, he buys everything from every company. He's currently out there. He's gonna buy Disney Plus.
Yeah,
because he's being paid by them. He's gonna buy Pokemon because Game Freak pays Tom. He gets paid by all these companies. I don't get no money from them. I'm the voice of reason. I'm here for the people. Tom's a sellout.
Nope.
That is all.
It's fine by me if you like what you're getting paid for, then why not? I mean, I wish these companies did pay me.
Admittance. You see what I mean? Admittance.
I've also sent.
They're all paying you, Tom.
Yeah. I've also, been looking at the new Pokemon designs this week as well.
Yeah, no, you keep sending me them. I don't want to see them.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I mean, some of them are a bit crappy.
No, they're not. Oh my gosh. Tom, the ones you sent me, look, what is that? What the hell is that supposed to be? What? Please tell me what type of Pokemon that's supposed to be. What type is that supposed to be?
Goblin, I'm guessing.
Goblin type?
Oh, there's more than like 3 types now. There's loads.
Oh, hell no. Forget it. I'm out. I was doing enough. When they couldn't decide what things were dragon or dark type. Like, the Pokemon types have been messed up for a while. The game is a mess. When will people see that the game is a mess and it needs fixing? That's not real. That one that you've just sent me is not real. That literally looks like spikes. Like, what is that? Has that even been seen in the game? Because that's not even a rendering of it.
That is Eternus, and that is a poison dragon Pokemon.
Yeah, okay. Moving on. Shenmue 3 is out now. Yu Shizuki is saying that he wants to make Shenmue 4.
Mm-hmm. Shenmue more. Shenmue.
I think he needs to stop because...
No, Shenmue more.
No, I think he needs to... I am going to go and play Shenmue 3 though. I'm going to get it. I'm going to play it. I haven't played a lot of things. My life is very hectic at the moment. It's not even very hectic. It's a whole lot of stress.
Yeah. We should say it took 18 years to deliver Shenmue 3, which was backed on Kickstarter and then pushed to an Epic exclusive and whatever the hell happened. And
I don't know what else has happened because apparently like Sony also partly owns the game as well because they financially backed it too.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure who's making money at this point now. Like, I don't know who's really benefiting from Shenmue anymore. I feel like Sega because they had to get the rights from them. I
feel like the director because...
Yeah, is this even his game? Did he even make any of this?
It took this man 18 years to make a game, and then it came out, and he took all the money, and he's like, let's just release another one now. Why not? Let's do another one. It took you 18 years. Like, so there's people alive that...
Hold on, Tom. Relax, though. It says the new release only gets us about 50% of the way through the full Shenmue arc. You mean to tell me there's supposed to be 6 Shenmues? I think that's a bit too much now.
Well, no. Yeah. There'd be 6, wouldn't there? Yeah. I mean, he obviously had a plan. I don't know how much you can continue making these games because they have to stay. The other thing is they have to stay relevant to the source content or the source material, which at this point is over 20 years old. So you're trying to stay relevant to a. What are you going to remaster Shenmue 1 and 2 and then remaster Shenmue 3 because it already looks hella dated and it's just came out because it has to stick to that source content? Like,
well, I'll say this,
you can't be releasing Shenmue 4 in 2034 and it looks like it's just come out on a PlayStation 1.
Well, I say this, yeah. What's it called? Going on the series' current release cadence, Suzuki will be in his late 90s by the time a fourth will come out. So he's currently, like, quite old. So if he really wants to create Shenmue 4, he needs to do it sooner than later. Otherwise, he's going to either, sadly, probably pass away.
Mm-hmm. He has said he'd never give up on the series, though. But
no, don't get me wrong. He hasn't. He's been trying to get Shenmue 3 to be made for quite a year. He has been trying to get it made for many years. Sega would never allow him to continue because they weren't making consoles anymore, and Sega refused to release Shenmue on another system because they said it was a Sega exclusive.
Yeah, but I don't know how successful Shenmue 3 was. So I guess that's basically the end point of this. It received mixed reviews. Some critics did praise its, faithfulness to the original story, the original games. And then obviously people are criticizing the lack of modern design elements because you're gonna, aren't you, if you releasing a game 18 years after the last? Like, this isn't like a movie where you can sort of release it now. You have to go and remake this stuff, not remaster, remake this stuff with modern design elements. And unfortunately, I don't think it is gonna happen anytime soon.
Oh, wait, just before we're going to get out on gaming, sorry, just want to say, shall we run through the Game Awards nominees?
When are the Game Awards?
The Game Awards is soon. We should watch it. Oh, December the 12th. Oh, let's get it. We should do a live stream. Okay, don't quote us on that.
So we could.
We could though. Yeah, December. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick rundown.
We can also
I know we're running out of.
No, we can go through them next show because, as you know, the next show will be coming out 2 days before the Video Game Awards.
Oh, okay. It's just because
what a perfect time.
There's some really funny stuff going on because like people are basically getting upset because Death Stranding's in every category.
and rightly so.
And rightly so. Wait. Do you remember when they put Red Dead in every category last time? And we was like, and it won every single one. It won against God of War. And everyone was really confused.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at I'm thinking about some of these games. I'm thinking, why are they in there? Like, really? Gears 5? I thought that was trash.
I didn't even know. Well, I did know that game came out, but I mean...
Well, okay, let's just talk about this though. Game of the Year, Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and The Outer Worlds.
I think they're all really solid nominations, actually.
I think they are solid nominations. I can't really complain, man.
That's a good year for games, that is.
Yo, I felt like Cold Vein should have been in there, though. I've been playing that recently. It's a really good game.
Yeah, but...
Okay.
I feel like Sekiro... was better and that like for that style of game. If you're gonna throw one of each of the like different style of game, and that's probably the better one for that.
I just preferred the Cold Vein art style and the customization. I felt like Sekiro was just too difficult for me. I didn't really. It's too Dark Souls.
You can't say that game should be nominated because it was too difficult for me.
Nah. I'm just saying it. No, I didn't like Sekiro. No, I'm just saying personal preference. I liked Cold Vein over Sekiro. Like, I'm just talking in that style of game. I do agree with Sekiro is a really, really great game. I just said I don't like Dark Soulsy type games. Like, I thought Cold Vein was kind of hack and slashy enough for me to enjoy it.
Yeah,
rather than, you know,
yeah, you can't just pick up a pillow and bash people out the way in, you know, Dark Souls games, can you? It's not the iToy, so it's not it's not for you.
It's not casual.
Not for
casual at all. No, not for me. Let's talk about you, yeah, Mister. I don't complete any games yet. This man hasn't probably completed a game in like the last 8 years. But never known him to complete a game. I've known him for a while now as well.
Completed many games.
What games have you completed then?
Recently, Trover Saves the Universe, which we've mentioned.
Oh wow! That's really a long game, isn't it, Tom? That's really that one really gets to you, doesn't it? Like
solid game that.
That one was really a challenging experience, isn't it, Tom? Like
Grand Theft Auto 5, Watch Dogs, back in 2014.
Oh yeah! Oh my god, this guy. Grand Theft Auto 5 or Watch Dogs. Oh, you mean Watch Dogs when I did 50% of the game for you when I came to your house?
Yeah, the original Watch Dogs, yeah.
Yeah, alright then. Let's move on.
I mean,
films and TV.
50%.
No, Tom,
50%.
you're exposing yourself.
50%.
It was about 50%.
No, you did one mission, it just took you a hell of a long
No, I
time.
didn't do one mission! Oh my god, you're lying on my name now. Now you're just lying on my name. Yo, as I said, yeah. Moving on, films and TV. We ain't got that much time left on the clock. So, moving on. Films and TV, yeah. We'll be bringing Tom's list back at the end of the year, by the way, of games that he's actually completed. Because he hasn't.
That's my aim in the next month.
Oh, we'll see then.
We'll do it.
I want you to play. Okay, I'll set you a goal. You need to play one big release of this year. I will also complete one big release this year as well.
We've only got a month left, you know.
Fuck it. Yo, I've got time in it. I've got time. No, I don't have time. I really don't, Tom. I lied. I don't have any time. Anyway, films and TV.
Bridging the gap between music and gaming. 808s and Joysticks.com.
Yeah, fucking Batman. So, Andy Serkis to be Alfred. Don't really see how that works, but...
Don't mind that. I think that's a good casting, to be honest.
Yeah, but I always see him as like...
Gollum.
No, not as Gollum, just as someone crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, he always works
Gollum.
more better as a... No. I mean, like, his facial... his
Schmeagol?
CGI work is a lot more better. No, not just Schmeagol. He's done bare things. He was Caesar and all sorts, in Planet of the Apes.
Was he also Snoke in the new Star Wars films as well?
See what I mean? He's just...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just prefer him with something like that. You know, he's even apparently being pegged to be a part of the Pinocchio live action. Like, he just does better on that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just his thing.
He does give off good Geppetto vibes. Give him that.
He does give off good Geppetto vibes. But yeah, like, Planet of the Apes is like, he was just too cold in that. Like, I'm gonna have to see this, because this Batman series is totally separate from the DC Black series. So this is a new thing that they've created. I don't know, as I said, DC Warner, I have no idea what they're doing. Like, they've seen the Joker works. By the way, Joker's been greenlit. Or we already talked about that for a second film.
Apparently the rumors are wrong. No one has a clue what's going on there.
Oh my god, why do they always do this, man? This is their only successful film. Like, why would you do it? Like,
What do you expect from DC?
Did you know what they were trying to say? Oh, is it gonna top Aquaman at the box office? How is it gonna top Aquaman? Aquaman was a 12. This is an R-rated film. Why are you comparing the box office like numbers
That's a good point. A really good point.
To Aquaman? Like, Aquaman is like a household name. The Joker is a villain. Kids don't really go to watch the Joker, and it's an adult film. It's quite a off-the-cuff film that not many film goers will go and watch.
It's very graphically intense. Graphical violence intense. Like, there's no holds barred, which is why I love the film so much, because I feel like it's just pure... It's pure Joker the way that character was intended to be. But also, you know, that's not what sells family films. And DC aren't really known for their family films, and we speak about it a lot, but DC aren't. I mean, okay, Batman the Detective Comics, but Batman was always a detective. Batman was never super. If you're doing that, it's Superman. Superman is the big shiny guy that walks around. Batman, that's a dark place. It's meant to be dark.
I will say though, Tom. Sorry, I will say that the Batman series has always flourished, or Batman IP has always flourished within the games and within the cartoons. The cartoons were very popular. Mm-hmm. Batman cartoons have always been sublimely created shows, like the Batman, like the one that came out around 2008, 10-ish. Amazing. I've never seen a Batman series so dark, yet just dark enough to kind of edge on that kind of kid to teenager. Like, so you're about 10 to like maybe 10 to 13. Like, it was a really cool series. And then they had The Brave and the Bold, which is a lot more, I think that's like 80s, 70s inspired. A lot more kiddish, a lot more flashy, a lot more cartoonish, a lot more friendly in its approach and art style. And I feel like the Justice League as well, that really was like a more mature take on, superheroes back then. It's really weird because DC do really well on their animation side, like Young Justice and things like that. They're all very popular. They've got cult followings online, and they're immensely popular amongst a lot of people. And the DC films as well. I know you've watched a few of them, like Batman Ninja and things like that. Like, those are very well done, and they're such a high standard. Mm-hmm. You just got to think to yourself, why are our live action films not like that? It's almost like the creative teams don't have any kind of conversations or rapport with each other.
It's just because they're trying to compete too much with Marvel, and
you can't do that. Like
what we've said about the gaming industry earlier on. It's a really good comparison, actually, thinking about it. We said that those people, the different companies pushed each other to innovate and do different things because they have patents where people can't do the same thing. That's not the case here. But, if Marvel do something, DC can go, we'll do that. But it doesn't work because people, as Gambino once said, Coca-Cola and Pepsi are the same thing. They're the same thing, but I like whichever one's paying me more, or you like whichever one's better at the time or more popular. That's what you do. If Marvel's more popular, you're not going to dethrone it by doing the exact same thing. You're going to dethrone it by doing something completely different.
Well, you have to try and do something different because this whole everyone trying to create their own shared universe is really annoying now. I don't want every show I watch to be in the same universe. It's really confusing now.
Shout out the Hasbro universe coming soon.
God, that one sounds like the worst. Like,
I am excited for that, to be fair.
Seeing as well, no, because I just don't want to see Transformers again. Like, you literally,
but
Transformers was so good at the beginning
with Power Rangers, with Ninja Turtles.
See, but the Power Rangers films are just continuing on from whatever Power Ranger film they made that time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they are lost with that series. They can never get a person to do it well enough. They always try and get Michael Bay. I don't know what kind of deal Michael Bay has with Hasbro, but they always get Michael Bay to come in and direct it. All he does is blow a bunch of shit up and put Megan Fox in it. And I don't want to see it anymore.
No, I have a really good point for this, because that's how it's designed to be. It sounds stupid. It sounds really, really stupid. But they design it for that reason. Do you know why? Do you know why?
Really. No.
Because it sells a hell of a lot of toys. A hell of a lot of toys.
It sells a lot of toys, but I don't know if you've noticed though, but I feel like the appeal and the allure, because I was even looking at like Christmas presents and stuff to buy today for like younger like children, and I was looking at like toys in there and I was thinking, like what the hell's like where's like all the advertisements and stuff like Action Men and stuff like that, like when I was a kid, like kids are not into that anymore. They like know how to play PlayStation
but
quite well at the age of like 5 and stuff like that, and they can play Fortnite easily and play Minecraft on their own, and like they don't need any supervision.
That's not who these toys are made for, though.
You talk about collectors, like people who...
These toys are made for the people that were kids when it came out. Yeah, these toys are made for me. Yeah, me and you, basically. You know, if
I'm never purchasing a Transformer.
Not a Transformer, like a cool Ninja Turtle figure. You know. If there's a really cool Ninja Turtle figure, that's
maybe
related
if I
to the
get
film
to
that's
like,
just come out, you'd be like, yeah, you know, that'd be pretty cool to put somewhere. Like,
yeah, like if I really wanted to, I'm not really into having any collectibles because like I always just feel like I'm more like, I know this is not going to be my permanent house, so like I feel like I would love to get all the things. I've got like a whole list of stuff that I would love to obviously get. I wouldn't get. I know what you're trying to say. If I was to get figurines, I wouldn't get any type of figure. I would probably get anime ones more than anything because I've already got some. So like I wouldn't really necessarily go out and get those.
You're also part of the easiest collectors club that you could be part of. You know, the Metal Gear Solid fan. All you've got to do is turn a cardboard box upside down, put it in the corner, and you have a collectible. Basically, like, you know.
Just get out of here.
Get some stickers and stick it on the side, and you have.
I'm not even really interested in collecting any Metal Gear merch as of this point yet, because obviously Konami, like as of now, and it, like, you know, Kojima is like parted ways with Konami. I feel like I should part ways with Konami as well. I don't really need to support Metal Gear anymore. Like, you know, it's one of my favorite franchises, but I can vote it now because I know the series is. Konami seems to be doing something with it, but in my head, Metal Gear ended at 5, arguably ended at 4, and I'm just going to leave it at that now. You know, I will keep those fond memories for myself of Metal Gear, and I will keep playing those games over and over because I know I enjoy them. And in terms of collectibles, hell yeah, I would have really loved the Death Stranding limited edition with the briefcase. I really wanted that. That was like my ultimate dream. You get like the little pod. You got a whole briefcase.
Yeah, but
that would have been the ultimate,
you know,
like collectible. What?
You got your Metal Gear Survive collectible, and you can keep that and cherish it. So
yeah, okay, yeah, just keep telling lies, Tom. Because as I said, yeah, I will expose you. You know what, yeah, this man has a Far Cry collectible at home. Yeah,
I do.
This man again, as I said, on the payroll of many companies.
It's up there.
Ubisoft also paying him as well.
I also have not completed that game either.
You see, why are you going to believe? Why believe Tom? Why believe him when he doesn't complete any games? He's on the payroll of all these companies. Isn't something a bit fishy going on here? I think so.
Yeah, but back to that point about the toys and stuff. That it's basically the reason I learned all that is because I watched a series on Netflix. You know, I don't actually have too many collectible things, but I'm into the collectibles, and you know, I would like to.
Tom, you've got so many collectible things.
I have
this man lying again.
I have a few Funkos, but not like I don't.
He has a few. But no, okay, you've got Funkos, yeah, but you also have a bunch of things in your room that are all classed as collectibles. I can name a few.
Okay, name a few.
You've got a Stormtrooper. You've got
that's not a collectible.
That is a collectible. That is a collectible. Do you play with it?
Yeah. Come on.
No, you do. No, you don't.
Did we or did we not take Steve to the pub?
Oh yeah, okay, we did take Steve.
We did. We took Steve to the pub. Steve the Stormtrooper come to the pub with us. So we. Oh no, we don't play with him, but you know, he joins us as a.
Yeah, but that's a joke though. That's like something that we like. Yeah, but that's just joke for like. Okay, I understand what you're trying to say. I would even class as like you've got a lot of posters and things. You've got a lot of collectible like clothing items. So do I as well. I won't lie. I've got a vinyl of Flower Boy. Like that's a collectible. Mm-hmm. I've never used it. I don't have a vinyl player.
I have low end collectibles. Is what?
No, you don't. You've got a Blonded T-shirt. What are you talking about? You do not have low.
That's just a T-shirt.
But how valuable these things are, though. Like.
No, it's just a T-shirt to me.
That's really valuable. You have a golf book that no one has. Like, it's like one of how many, thousands.
I think it's in a cupboard somewhere.
That's still a valuable collectible. You have a lot of...
Yeah, but I'm talking...
I bet you if you count it up. Are you talking about just
toys?
In terms of games and toys, yeah.
Games, well, mainly just toys. Toy-wise, we're talking like Funko's low-level collectibles.
You must have some rare Funkos now. Like...
No, not really.
Some ones that people can't get anymore.
There's you can't get any of it. They phase them out all the time, but they're not... resale value on them, you're not looking like massive. This isn't like Star Wars toys back in the 70s, originals in the packet on the shelf. Like, this isn't. To be fair, some of the stuff I have, so some of the Stranger Things ones that I have, I actually have some Stranger Things collectible action figures. They're collectibles. But this comes back to a series on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us. One of my favourite series when it came out a good few years ago, mainly because, I do like looking at all this stuff and all the stuff that comes out. If you're interested in just looking at some of the stuff, look at some Hot Toys, as in like the company is called Hot Toys, and some of the stuff they make is absolutely incredible. Price points are really high, but some of the stuff you make, if you can afford it, or you want to save for it and you really want something, you can get a really, really nice piece for somewhere. And they're made to cater towards the older people. Now, the Toys That Made Us, it's 3 seasons in now. This is the 3rd season. The first season, is talking about like Star Wars, G.I. Joe. This season, you had things like the Power Rangers, the Ninja Turtles, and that's where I learned all this stuff about the Ninja Turtles. And basically, they realized that they could keep remaking this stuff, and Power Rangers did exactly the same thing. And Power Rangers realized if they changed the costume every year, they could just make new toys. But also, some of those Power Rangers toys were incredibly innovative. Like, you remember the Power Ranger toy where you had the Power Ranger and you pressed the button and like it flipped from their normal head to the helmet. Like, that was a patent that they had, and that was just a small. Oh God, I can't remember who made it. Go and watch it, you'll find out. But obviously now Hasbro have bought them out and own it, but. I think it might have been Bandai that owned it, and that was something then that was like amazing, and it tells you like why these toys sold and coming into where they are now and how they act now, because they have to cater more towards the older population of people that want to buy these as collectibles. They can vary from people just going out and buying the toys that are made for kids low end just to store somewhere in the house, or they could go up to like the more expensive figures that people actually want to buy. Star Wars do it perfectly with the Black Series. Those action figures aren't made for kids to play with; they're made for people to collect and display.
Yeah, arguably base level. Every figurine is always got like a 3+ or 7+ rating on it. Like, it's still a toy that you can still move it around a lot of the time. I'm not like refuting the fact that these films aren't made for. For toys and things like that, like to sell toys. We all know what it is for. A lot of the reason why a lot of this exists is to sell merchant toys after. It's what happens after. The film is promotion. That's what anime is a lot of the time. Well, it used to be. Anime used to be used back in the day to promote other things, like other companies. Mm-hmm. Like, you use an anime series to promote a game. Or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you didn't necessarily had the anime first. Like, the anime wasn't the most important thing. That was the marketing.
Yeah, but that's the same. It happens the same in Western culture. I mean,
it happens like that. Yeah,
you would also love this show as well. But that's exactly what the Ninja Turtles cartoon started as. It was an advertisement for the toys.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they all try and sell merch. It's always been like that. It's always been. The Avengers, that's what I'm saying, like with Disney Plus and stuff like that, that's why they need to make sure that these next couple phases keeps the Avengers and, Marvel as a entity as a whole going, because if they slump with these next few films and it doesn't work out the way they want it to, and they don't sell the amount of toys and merch and all these kind of things that Disney obviously have a target in their head for, then it's over.
Oh, they will.
Just like how when Star Wars Battlefront 2, when that came out and it was getting all this backlash and people were having an outcry, and then when parents were getting involved and they were complaining about the game, that was when Disney stepped in and said to EA, you sort the game out or our partnership is over. They care so much about the end user.
To be fair,
the people who are buying the merch and who are buying the games and who's buying the things that they're the real money makers. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and to be fair to that point, EA have released a good Star Wars game, so give them
I have heard
props to them for
Fallen Order, even though that's not really a game for that. As I said, they released the premium content for the older market. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, Fallen Order is for the older market. It's not a game that I would give to a child under, you know, probably the age of 15 because it's got heavy violence in it. Well, that's the age rating in it. Obviously we have to say age rating in it. Like, that's up to your parenting in it, what you want to give to the child. I don't know what's the age rating of the game.
I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, I was playing like, God, I wasn't playing like GTA at the age of. Nah, it probably was actually. Definitely was.
Yeah, but you definitely was playing GTA. Like, we was all playing like games we shouldn't have been playing. I'm just being fair to the point of, you know, if we was following the rules, you wouldn't really give this game wasn't made for a child. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give this to my 5-year-old. No, he wouldn't know what to do with it. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Mm-hmm. But it is.
I don't have a 5-year-old son, by the way. That was a really weird way of saying that sentence.
It's rated teen, so you're looking at like maybe like you Peggy 12 area, yeah.
Around 12.
It'd be right 8+. People are saying, so it's not too bad. You know, it's probably a little bit too extreme for people that are a bit younger because there's a lot of action in it. But you know, it depends on what games you enjoy.
I just feel like it's not really maybe a game that like a young child would want to play. Like, I don't know though, because saying that, like, I'm trying to think. I definitely had Devil May Cry when I was.
Oh yeah, I was.
My little brother wasn't born yet, so I would have been. It would have been before I was 8 years old. I had Devil May Cry, the first one as well. Do you know how violent that game was? Like, how crazy that, and I loved it. Like, I thought Devil May Cry was the best game. Like, didn't even care about Metal Gear Solid at that point. Like, Devil May Cry was my series that I championed. Like, and that was an 18 rated game at the time. So, like, yeah, you're right. People might be interested in that, but obviously we do not condone, you know, if you're going to go and play games, ask for permission of a parent. We're trying to be responsible on here. You know, don't go out and steal games that ain't your age rating or whatever. We ain't condoning any of that.
Don't go out and steal stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Not condoning that.
Don't, if you're not supposed to play the game, don't play it. Trust me, you're not missing out on anything. There's tons of games under the age.
I don't agree. I think if someone buys it for you, you can play it. Why not?
Yeah, of course.
But obviously, you know, don't go out stealing games. I don't know why you're putting that suggestion in young people's minds.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, we're saying that it's obviously okay to play the game and stuff like that. And, you know, like, younger audiences might listen and might think, well, yeah, okay, I'm going to go and play Fallen Order, but there might be some things in there that they don't understand yet. So, you know, I'm not going to assume. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we're just trying to be safe.
Moral of the story is don't steal games. You will end up like Tairell, and you'll be a big Metal Gear Survive fan, and that's really the moral of this. I've never stolen any games, Tom.
How about you talk about the games that you've stolen and never completed? Because it seems like a lot of that's going on, seeing as you keep claiming these companies are not sending you any PR packages.
Well, I mean, I didn't steal any games. They just, you know, stole my money because I bought them and then never completed them. So
stole my money.
Who's the loser here?
I don't know what he's talking about. Like, stole his money. No one stole his money. I don't even know. Yeah, why you put Frozen 2 in the notes anyway? We're not talking about that film.
Biggest global animated opening of all time. Yeah,
the film was whack. It's going to be tried. It's got no longevity. No one's going to remember this Frozen more than the other one. I've actually never watched Frozen.
Yeah, okay.
I've never watched Frozen, by the way.
So why have you got such a hatred for it?
Because it was whack. Like, it was just another... first and foremost,
How do you know? How do you know?
The story was once again ripped off. Surprise, surprise, it's Disney.
How do you know? How do you know it's whack when you've not seen it?
It's whack because it's got tons of singing in it. Why would I want... I hate musicals. So why would I want to watch a film of... why would I want to watch an Icelandic musical? Do I want to watch that? Do I want to watch a musical based around snow? No.
Do you know
Sounds horrible.
Do you know what you need to do?
You're going to say, oh, I need to let it go.
Yeah, you do.
Whatever.
You need to let it go.
You're a lame, Tom. Are you actually like a 6-year-old girl in a guy's body? Because it feels like you are.
Yeah, I am, actually. Speaking about that, High School Musical, the musical, the series.
You know what I mean? This is the kind of shit that I have to deal with on a daily basis.
Incredible.
Telling me about High School Musical, the show.
Series.
I don't want to hear about
series,
it. I don't care about it. I don't care. I don't care what it's doing. As I said, he's been paid by Disney. This is why we have to hear this.
Highly recommend if you are a big High School Musical fan.
I don't recommend. Shall we start talking about Disney Plus and all the problems they had as well? Because, we skipped over that.
We did that last show.
Oh, yeah, but they've been having more issues, though, Tom. More issues.
Well,
we won't get into them this episode.
The content is very good. The Imagineering story on there as well. Really good, that. Disney-wise, then, just to wrap up, we have the new Rise of Skywalker TV spot, which shows the Knights of Ren. But more importantly, we see Porgs again. So Porgs are back, which means more toys to sell at Christmas for Disney. And I will probably buy myself another Porg because I did that last time Porgs were in the film.
I blame all of you.
Yeah, I mean, I will actually take the blame for that one because that is basically who they're aiming at.
See what I mean? Tom? Hella merch. I'm going to take a picture here. I'm going to show it to everyone. He has lots of collectibles at his house. Do not believe this man. He's acting like he doesn't have any, but he does.
I do. I'm actually drinking out of a limited edition Coca-Cola 2002 Harry Potter cup at the moment. Just take a listen.
Wow. You see what I mean?
Okay, it doesn't. There you go. If you could hear, probably couldn't hear that. I mean,
nobody cares about what texture it is. No,
we got to broaden our horizons. Yeah, if this starts going badly, we've got to think about some of the ASMR content we may be putting out onto the YouTube channel.
No, we're not putting any ASMR content out to YouTube. If that is happening, that would be Tom solely going together as his own sole entity, known as 808s. I'm the joystick, so I'm dipping.
I mean, I'd rather be the 808s than the joystick, but
why not? You got something to say about the joysticks? You got something to say about the FGC, Tom?
The what?
You got something to say about the fighting game community?
Well, no, it's just
oh yeah, okay, yeah. No, I was just say about them. No,
innuendoing that to a certain demographic that may listen to the show would understand that he'd probably rather be the drums than the joystick, or
No one's even talking about that right now. Like, what are you talking?
Well,
oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay, I see what kind of line of thinking you had to bring it down. I didn't do that.
Tyrell, late to the party there. And speaking of stuff that's late to the party, Nickelodeon shows are coming to CBS at All Access. Flawless transition there. Flawless transition.
Yo, it's good. It's really good. Do you think you're Anthony Pantano? Like, where you getting this from? We're not reviewing any albums at the moment. This is another streaming service again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Another streaming service. Another flawless transition. Another 6 out of 10. As Malum would say.
So give me the rundown. What's going on then?
Give the rundown. The rundown is CBS. I think CBS All Access is already a thing, actually. Viacom and CBS closing on their December 4th merger, and that means that Nickelodeon shows such as SpongeBob SquarePants and Dora the Explorer will be coming to CBS All Access, and not Nickelodeon's Nick Hits platform that they currently have. Whether that's going to be cancelled or not, I'm not entirely sure at the moment, but I'm guessing so. Not really massive news, but I mean it's more like exclusive content for certain things that it's confusing, very, very, very confusing. But we've spoke a lot about stuff like that, and there's some good music stuff to speak about as well, because there's a lot of other stuff that we could speak about regarding films and TV, hell of a lot, because there's so much going on at the moment there, but there's also a lot going on movies-wise as well. And, movies-wise, music-wise, what am I doing? See, I'm already that confused because there's that much streaming services now,
We'll have to have a lot more of like a focused look at the streaming services, because I'm reading this article about CBS All Access and it's just one big mess. Like, we've got Viacom involved, but they've merged with CBS. But Netflix declined the deal with Viacom.
You've got HBO Now coming soon. HBO... Was it not HBO Now? HBO Plus, is it? Or whatever?
No, HBO Max.
HBO Max, that's it. Yeah, so... Yeah. Oh my God. And then Warner Brothers have just redone their logo design to be more modern, to fit on streaming services and stuff like that.
Well, HBO is a Time Warner company, so that's where Warner's content's going to be going through. HBO.
Yeah, and that's why they're redoing this, so it means all that stuff's going to be going to there, so you've got like an exclusive place for Harry Potter and whatever, Lord of the Rings, but maybe not, because that's on Amazon. Oh, it's confusing. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, Viacom has now got a deal again with Netflix, but Viacom and CBS are now one company. So,
but I bet that'll be for distribution to areas outside of the US, possibly.
Well, Viacom was saying that Viacom owns Channel 5 in the UK, if you didn't know. So, we could possibly be seeing some Nickelodeon content coming to Channel 5, or Viacom content more coming to Channel 5. This is in the UK speaking, by the way. Sorry for anybody who doesn't know what Channel 5 is. Channel 5 is probably a lot different
really
in America.
Not missing
elsewhere. Out. You really aren't. It's
no, you're not.
A lot of weird and usually content that is... I would want to say it's trash TV, but it preys probably amongst... It preys on a certain demographic. We won't get into it too much.
That's very...
No, but it does. No, but it does really. The size of a content that's created on Channel 5 and the kind of shows that it has and the type of people it depicts on Channel 5 definitely preys, I would say, on a certain demographic. But as I say, we won't get into that.
I feel a bit offended because I watch Channel 5 quite a lot. I was a big...
No, you don't, Tom. No, you don't.
I was a big Milkshake fan back in the day, Hooba Looba Doo, all that jazz.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say... okay, I wouldn't say in terms of that, TV programming for, kids or whatever. Yeah, Milkshake's probably still up there. But, if we're talking in terms of, their usual programming... Channel 5 doesn't... we're not running to Channel 5 to get the gripping drama. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what Channel 5 actually has apart from Milkshake.
Really, those kind of, terrible shows where, they're trying to, shine down on,
those, Lifetime movies.
Nah, not even... Yeah, they usually have it's, a bit of that. A bit about, Benefits Britain. They usually love to do shows on that. And I just feel why do you do the same show over and over again?
It's those films around Christmas you get Santa Paws and all that crap.
Oh my God. Or you have one somewhere some it was something mad someone was killed by Santa, and it'd be a PG film that's on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's really not what it seems to be
and it was made this year, and
and it's got actors in there that you kind of know,
from down the road when you walk past them at Tesco or something, not
so really
that was really that was pretty harsh by me. That's should state, I'm fully supportive of people trying to go forward with their acting career, but
wow, Tom, so you just really you just A slave to America. Is that what it is now, Tom?
I'll be brutally honest. If you're starring in Santa Paws at the age of like 35, your acting career's probably not hit the heights you thought it was going to be. So that's all I'm saying. I mean, we're doing a show here where realistically we're also not hitting the heights we want to be. So we feel your pain, but also realistically, let's be honest. It's not really where you want to be, is it?
Bridging the gap between music and gaming. 808s and Joysticks.com.
Anyway, enough about Lifetime films. Let's just move on to the music section because we ain't got a lot of time. We're gonna both get out of here. We both got work tomorrow, so let's do this.
I remember if you're enjoying the show, give it a like, give it a listen. Did you like that transition? Boom.
Do you write these down? Or like?
No, that's pure wit. That is just on the top of my head.
No, sure. I just get out of here, Tom. I just don't know. This is, as I said, this is what I have to deal with in day in, day out. Like, just because we do this every 2 weeks, I speak to this man every day, though. Imagine. Too many quips, too many puns, and too much High School Musical. Anyway.
Oh, I was expecting a rhyme at the end there, but we didn't get it.
No, I'm not giving it.
It's cool.
Rhymes for what? You ain't getting no. You won't get a freestyle out of me for free. All right. New music.
Talking
releases.
about rhymes. There you go.
Fuck off. Talking about rhymes. No. That was funny still. I'll give you that still. Okay, so we've got new albums. Netflix and Deal by All Free Greedo and Kenny Beats. Really, really cool project. Free Greedo. He's currently facing a case. And I think that he might be getting out like within the next year or two. But this project is really incredible. Kenny Beats, as usual, coming through with the sublime production. If you loved the 777 album, this is the closest thing you'll get to that this year.
If you love 2017, you're gonna love 2018.
Funk.
Heavy in the heart, that one.
Funk. That guy, Love Letter to You by Trippie Redd. It's alright. It's not as great as the other Love Letters to You.
Number 4.
It's number 4 as well, and it's serious. We got Chicks Tape 5.
Tory Lanez.
Tory snapped. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, he got all the old samples. He got everyone to come back and remix their songs and make it sound even better. He even managed to get like Lloyd and Mario to come out and do tracks. I don't even know how he did that. He had like people from
Mario. Fair enough, but Lloyd,
like do you know how hard it is to get Lloyd these days?
My man's been in hiding.
He released that one album. Good, by the way, that one album. Do you remember that album that he released? And he's like naked on the cover with his guitar. It's a good album. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit. Whoa, but like,
was that the special edition?
No, it wasn't a special edition. Yo, alright, okay, alright then. Yeah, okay. Casey Veggies, Organic, Odd Future affiliate. Rest in peace. His new album. I mess with Casey still. Like
Casey was good.
He was good. He was good. Obviously, he moved away from Odd Future a long time before his career. It would be kind of. I would love to see how his career would be right now if he still stuck around with Odd Future. I would really like. I would really like to see that.
It's ironic that he moved away from Odd Future, considering his name's Casey Veggies and he's thinking for the future. So. That was probably not as good as all the other ones.
Just be quiet now. I'm gonna finish off the list and we're finishing. Soul Trash by Toro Wimo. I haven't listened to this whole project in full yet. It's just my really job to bring you the news of the albums. We've got Infinitium. Tom says it's good, so go check it out. Infinitium by Flying Lotus. This is an electronic EP. I repeat, this is an electronic EP released on Warp Records. So if you want to check this out to find something a bit different from Flying Lotus, he has so many styles. Infinite styles almost. So yeah, this is something different from Flying Lotus. Brand new Coldplay album. It's probably going to go and do like 1 billion first week because everyone loves Coldplay. It's called Everyday Life. Haven't listened to it yet. Tom, you
They
listened to it yet?
also no way. They
No
also
way.
Said I like Coldplay, but it's not struck me as something that I really wanted to listen to. They also come out and said they're not touring for this album to save the planet and stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like that there's other ways that you can do it. Like,
we're not touring to save the planet, but you could tour and raise money to help save the planet.
Yeah, you could also do what Billie Eilish has done and do a renewable tour, and
you could do it, isn't it? Or
yeah.
you could do like shows like how Meg Thee Stallion, she did like the hot girl cleanup, where like I think after a show they went to the beaches and they cleaned up beaches and stuff like that. That was great. Like that was a great initiative.
I was going to say then I was interested in hot girl cleanup and beach cleans. I interested in beach cleans, but hot girl cleanup sounded more enticing than beach cleans.
You mean hot girl? Tom, be quiet. King of R&B by Jacquees. Lame album title. We are, I think we've strongly opinion said about Jacquees calling himself the king. It's just stupid. He's not the king of R&B. There's many arguments I've got to say that he definitely isn't the king of R&B. But without that being said, though, project is very great. Give it a listen. He is one of the best R&B guys right now, though. Like, if we were going to talk about raw talent and traditional R&B, like really restoring that feel of like, the older acts, Jacquees, Tory Lanez, Chris is still up there. As much as I don't really like Chris, like Chris can still sing. Like, if you really want to find that kind of music, you still can.
But Jack is whack, so just remember that. It's true.
One of the best yet, by legendary rap group Gang Starr. This is DJ Premier. If not, he created the hip hop sound. If you want to know what hip hop sounds like, DJ Premier created it. And rest in peace to Guru. Guru is a legendary MC. He, sadly passed away. He's a late great person. He still had a lot, left of his life, to put an impression on this, in this industry. Obviously, I think Young Guru is his son. I'm pretty sure that's Jay-Z's main collaborator and engineer for most of his projects now. So, yeah, so the legacy still goes on in that regard. But sublime rap album. If you love Gang Starr, another artist as well that was very, very heavily included in the Tony Hawk's games. There was a lot of Gang Starr in those games, and that's how I knew of Gang Starr, through my dad and through playing Tony Hawk games. So yeah, it was a bit more of like a personal thing for me to hear like Guru's voice once again. Like he's passed away from so long. This is like the first Gang Starr project in a long time. So yeah, hip hop like heads, go check that out if you're really trying to get into something. And something for the newer audience and the female rap audience. Doja Cat came out with I think this is a debut technically, or I'm not quite sure, called Hot Pink. It has a few songs on there that have already been released and that I've heard. The album overall was just okay. Yeah. And moving on to singles.
Yeah, I like.
What's good? I didn't know you had any thoughts on the album.
Yeah, I just said I agree. That was my thoughts on the album.
Moving on to
Simple,
singles.
to the point.
The GOAT is back. He's returned to us. Party Pendergrass, also known as Party Next Door.
Party Pendergrass.
Party Pendergrass has come back to us. And he gave us 2 singles, Loyal featuring Drake, giving us a Sango bop on there. If you don't know what the Sango bop is, just go and listen to any Sango album. You know what that boom chap chap like that, like Brazilian drum pattern beat, that is Sango's whole bread and butter right there. Like he basically used that kind of like style of music. No, it's been done in the past obviously, but Party and Drake obviously were set out to make a summer record, but I don't know why they've really released this in the winter. And the News by Party Next Door is classic Party Next Door on his sad boy stuff. And yeah, he sounds He sounds like he's got something incredible on the way, in my opinion. Especially from hearing the news. Loyal I didn't really like, because I thought it was a summer kind of mainstream song. But the news really sounds nice. It sounds like Pie Next Door, like 2/1, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I have listened to both. I can't remember which one is which. I liked one of them. I didn't like the other one as much.
I think it would be.
It might be the same. It might be the other way around.
I think you'll be the same as me. The Loyal one was much more of like a dancey kind of more of like Afrobeat type song. I just didn't know if you would really dig that instead of like the news is much more of like a slower, sad R&B song. So I don't know if that gives you any more context.
I don't know. I'll have to confirm that on the next show.
Yeah. Another single as well. Also, new album announced by Stormzy. Is it called Head Over Hearts? I don't know. I feel like something like that.
It's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
It's been announced. It won't be out before.
No,
it
show. Won't.
So
brand new single.
We will discuss it though.
Brand new single though with good old Ed and Burna Boy, who's like literally the biggest thing right now. Shouts out to Burna Boy on the Grammy nomination as well. And I've heard the song. It's not really up my street. That's all I've got to say. And it really, like, Stormzy album really didn't. I like his singles and things, but when the album came, like, I really didn't enjoy it. I don't know what I was thinking I was going to get out of a Stormzy project, but it's obviously not what was for me. So I'm not really looking for it, but I will obviously give it a listen to support Stormzy because, you know, he's done a lot in the scene and he's tried to, you know, further things for, you know, the betterment of the scene and the community. So I will be looking forward to that. Another up and coming guy, his name's called Quingface. He's got a song called Sonic 2, and that is really bubbling under the surface at the moment. He's one of like the drill scene's like up and coming guys, and this is his kind of first mainstream kind of crossover song. So I'm expecting this to get a bit of radio play. And we got Dig That and D Block Europe, another song called New Dior. It's just as catchy. It's what you expect from D Block Europe. These man really can't miss. They always make really good, catchy UK tracks that are bound to also catch a little bit of traction in America as well by the use of language and, you know, the flows and the auto tune and the beats. So yeah, that's it really. That's a rundown of new releases. I probably have missed out some other ones. I know Beck released an album recently, and Tame Impala's got a new album coming very soon. I think that's coming next year though. But it seems like it's a follow-up to Currents as well by the look of the album art. So that's really cool.
There is one more that I forgot to mention, which is Nicki acoustic session. She has released an acoustic session of Head in the Clouds 2 singles that she's on. So if you like Head in the Clouds 2 by 808 Rising, then Nicki and 808 Rising have released like an acoustic album of that with 3 songs on. Just sort of other stuff that's come out. There's Flight 99 featuring Masego by Taku, Please Wait, and Mac McWaters. Hit Me Up by Omar Apollo and Dominic Fike. Free Nationals do have a new album coming out, which is going to be pretty good. What is the other one? Morning by Tiana Taylor and Kehlani. Pretty interesting lyrics for that. I really like the song, but then worked out what it was about, and it's extremely graphic. Like, way even more graphic than a Weeknd song. Like, so it's graphic there. Other thing that we haven't noticed is probably Amalu's new album. I say album EP called Ama Who. Really cool up and coming artist from the UK. We featured her a few times on the weekly playlist with Northside and Better, and it's a decent project. Video for Northside as well does feature people like ASAP Ferg, Taco from Odd Future. So, you know, she's got friends in high areas, and she is probably going to be looking to go far, it seems, is what I see anyway.
Well, we'll be doing a 2020 prediction anyway, like our artists that we think are going to do well next year.
We will.
Because I always think that's one thing that we've always, not to say that we don't, but like, we do like to catch on to, like, we love looking at like smaller blogs and websites and trying to find new artists. Like, I'm telling everyone, Baby Keem is the next one up for sure. He's the one that I backed him for like the next year now. Like, Baby Keem is the one. But
you know, and people used to say, you know, you listen to Fantano, but you know, what do ya know? Boom. I mean, mic drop.
Yeah, okay. Everyone, don't forget, we've got the weekly playlist every week. We've been slacking, but don't worry, man. The boys are back. We're back in town.
We've been slacking, but now you're going to be snacking.
Just no listening. I've only got a few more seconds left. Thank you for the support. Spotify, Spreaker, Podbean, everything. Yeah, thank you for listening. Peace.
808s and Joysticks with Tom Stone and Tairell Hayward Brown.